Superficial knowledge, many fall into the trap of being perceived as stupid, often without realizing it. However, Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in wisdom, virtue, and self-control, provides timeless insights on the nature of true intelligence and how to avoid the pitfalls of ignorance. The Stoics taught us that true wisdom is not about being clever, but about living with virtue, integrity, and a clear understanding of one's own mind. This article will delve into the 6 signs of a stupid man from a Stoic perspective, and how embracing Stoic teachings can help you avoid these traps. 1. A stupid man blames others for his problems. A common characteristic of ignorance is the refusal to take responsibility. According to the Stoics, the external world is often beyond our control, but how we respond to it is entirely up to us. A man who constantly blames others for his misfortunes is failing to recognize his own role in shaping his life.
But here's the thing. Anyone who needs to ask, "Would I ever lie to you?" is already showing their cards. If they have to ask, it's because they know that there's a possibility that you might think they are lying. The very fact that this question is being asked suggests that something is amiss, that there's a hidden agenda, that they are trying to cover something up. The Stoics, particularly Seneca, taught us that we should not waste time speculating about others' character, based on assumptions or emotional manipulation. Instead, we should focus on observing their actions. In his writings, Seneca reminds us that it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. In the same way, it is not about questioning whether someone would lie to you, it's about observing their actions and holding them to the truth. Words are easily manipulated, but actions reveal everything. Next time someone asks you, "Would I ever lie to you?" don't get caught up in their emotional performance. Instead of responding directly to their question, turn it back on them. Ask, "That's not the question. The real question is, would I know if you did?" This response shifts the conversation from their manipulation to your ability to see through the fog they've created. It forces them to consider the truth of the matter rather than diverting attention away from it. Liars, by nature, want to keep you guessing. They want to cloud the truth with uncertainty and emotional confusion. But Stoicism teaches us to be grounded in our perception of reality, to trust our ability to discern the truth, and to avoid being swayed by false assurances. Remember, actions speak louder than words. If someone has to ask, "Would I ever lie to you?" it's because they already know you might be questioning their honesty. Trust your instincts, keep a clear head, and never allow someone to manipulate you with a question designed to deflect. Not to seek truth. By calmly redirecting the conversation and focusing on actions, you regain control, expose the manipulator's intent, and stay rooted in your own understanding of the situation. Point 5. Can't we just move on? The tactic of exhaustion. This question is a classic manipulative strategy designed to wear you down emotionally and mentally. When someone asks, "Can't we just move on?" they're not seeking resolution or clarity. They want you to drop the issue before the truth is fully uncovered. The goal here is to exhaust you, not with reason or discussion, but with emotional fatigue. They want you to feel so drained by the conversation that you give up on seeking the truth and let them off the hook. This tactic works because it preys on your natural desire to avoid conflict and move past uncomfortable situations. Everyone has experienced moments where they're tired of a conversation, where they just want to stop fighting or arguing. But manipulative people use this against you. They don't want to answer your questions or face the uncomfortable truths you're trying to bring to light. They want you to become so worn out, frustrated, or emotionally spent that you abandon the pursuit of the truth. It's allowing them to escape unchallenged. The Stoics, however, were keenly aware of this kind of emotional manipulation. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, emphasized the importance of not rushing away from discomfort just for the sake of peace. He wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." In other words, truth must take precedence over convenience. And no amount of emotional exhaustion should deter you from standing firm in your pursuit of what is right. When someone asks you, "Can't we just move on?" it's crucial to recognize that the issue is far from resolved. Moving on prematurely may feel like a solution in the moment, but it only leaves the manipulator free to continue their deceptive behavior. It's an invitation to sweep the problem under the rug, to ignore the warning signs, and to let them control the pace of the conversation to their advantage. Instead of succumbing to emotional fatigue, the Stoic response is to remain grounded and unwavering. Respond with something like, "I'll move on when I understand what happened, not before." This answer not only rejects their attempt to escape responsibility, but also reinforces your commitment to finding the truth. By saying this, you demonstrate that you are not swayed by emotional manipulation, and that you will not abandon your pursuit of clarity, simply because it's uncomfortable or tiring. Remember, truth has no timeline. It doesn't have to be rushed, and it certainly shouldn't be abandoned because of emotional pressure. The Stoic mindset teaches us that we should approach each situation with patience and endurance, understanding that the pursuit of truth is far more important than avoiding discomfort or emotional fatigue. So, the next time you hear, "Can't we?" just move on. Stand firm in your commitment to uncover the truth. Don't let anyone make you feel as though the issue should be brushed aside simply because it's inconvenient for them. Exhaustion may be their weapon, but clarity and understanding are your shields. Stay grounded, stay calm, and remember, truth doesn't have a deadline. Point 6. Liars don't just lie with words. They lie with emotions, one of the most insidious forms of manipulation that liars employ is using emotions as a weapon. They don't just deceive with words, they manipulate your feelings, distort your perception, and make you question your own emotional responses. This tactic is designed to confuse you, to make you feel guilty for noticing inconsistencies, and to manipulate you into doubting your instincts. Liars understand that emotions can be a powerful tool. They know that if they can create an emotional reaction in you, whether it's guilt, confusion, shame, or fear, they can control the narrative and prevent you from seeking the truth. They twist the situation until you feel as though you're emotional. Responses are inappropriate or exaggerated. For example, they might try to make you feel cold or unreasonable for having standards. Or they could accuse you of being too much for demanding honesty or transparency. The goal is to make you question your own feelings and to invalidate your emotional intelligence. This not only disorients you, but also shifts the focus away from their actions and onto your emotional state. Instead of examining their lies, you're now focused on how you're feeling about the situation. It's making it harder to spot the manipulation happening right in front of you. However, the Stoics knew that emotions, while powerful, are not inherently bad. It's how we respond to emotions that matters. They didn't advocate suppressing emotions entirely, but rather practicing awareness and control. The Stoics understood that emotions can cloud judgment if we let them dictate our behavior. Instead of allowing your emotions to control you, they taught the importance of observing them without reacting impulsively. When you feel emotionally manipulated, ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? The Stoics would encourage you to detach from the emotion itself and to examine the situation with a clear, rational mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This means that no matter how strong or intense the emotional reaction might be, you have the ability to choose how you respond. Instead of being swept up in the emotional storm that a manipulator creates, take a step back and assess the situation logically. A liar will attempt to make you feel guilty for being perceptive, for asking tough questions, or for demanding accountability. But it's important to remember that your emotions are valid. They are signals, indicators of something being off. If you feel uncomfortable, trust that discomfort. It's your internal compass alerting you to the fact that something isn't right. Next time someone tries to manipulate your emotions to cover up their lies, respond calmly with clarity and conviction. If they accuse you of being too emotional or overreacting, don't retreat or apologize. Instead, stand firm and say, "I'm not overreacting. I'm just seeing things clearly." This response not only keeps you grounded in your truth, but also challenges the manipulator's attempt to make you doubt your own emotional intelligence. In the end, liars may try to cloud the truth with emotional fog, but you have the power to remain unshaken. By staying aware of your emotions and practicing Stoic detachment, You can cut through the manipulation and see the situation for what it truly is. Your emotions are not your enemy. They are the key to understanding what's happening. And 2, protecting yourself from being deceived. Point 7. Why are you so defensive? The manipulative accusations question is another subtle but powerful tactic in the manipulator's arsenal. On the surface, it might sound like the person is merely trying to understand your reaction or calm you down. But in reality, it's a manipulation technique designed to make you question your emotional boundaries and to make you feel guilty for standing up for yourself. The question, why are you so defensive? It's meant to flip the script, making it seem as though you're the one at fault for reacting, rather than them for instigating the situation. What makes this question so effective is that it makes you feel like you're the problem. A manipulator will use this question to push you into a corner, making you feel as if you're being too reactive, too emotional, or even unreasonable. Instead of addressing their behavior or answering for their actions, you are forced into defending your emotional state, which diverts the focus away from the actual issue. However, the Stoics would remind us that it's not a weakness to defend ourselves. It's a necessity. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts."